Hey, this is Jean with C&J Farm. I thought today we'd talk about how to make bone broth. And we've been doing a lot more of that this last year than we've ever done before. And mostly because we raise chickens, we've done chicken, bone broth. But it's the same for if you do venison or beef. I don't really like the taste of beef bone broth. I find the tallow. Yeah, the bone broth made from beef is foamy. I don't like the way it tastes. So we tend to stick with chicken. And now we're getting into the venison bone broth, which has been really extraordinary this year. Some friends of ours have hunted this year and gave us some bones and everything. And then CA also went hunting. So venison's a kind of a new thing to us as we're getting into that. Now, venison, whether it's chicken or venison, the process is the same. I put the bones and some apple cider vinegar, along with some salt, and you could actually add parsley, celery, anything you wanted to in there, garlic, stuff like that. But mostly I just do a little salt and apple cider vinegar, and then as we reheat the bone broth to eat it is when I add a little bit of chopped up garlic and onion and things like that. So you get the powerful medicinal benefits of those herbal vegetables, that are so good for you. So the process is the same. You put it in there, you add the water, you add the apple cider vinegar. Let it cook in the crock pot for 30, I usually do 36 hours. And I keep just a little sheet, a little post-it on my counter that as I mark off like 7 a.m. to 7 p.m., 7 p.m. to 7 a.m., I just kind of track it that way to keep track because I have other things to think about besides this bone broth. So, and you might want to do that too. So I put it for 36 hours. Then when it's done, I take it out, strain it, and jar it, and we use it. Well, that's always been the process with chicken, the chicken bone broth, because it's not so fatty. But the venison, oh my gosh! So here's some I had processed before, just straining it out, jarring it, and look, it is so solid, and it's very gelatinous. It's so heavy in fat. You can see where it's all coated on there and everything. And as you finish cooking it, as it cools, it just gets this layer of fat. So I wasn't used to working with that. So I actually, at first, we were taking some of the gelatin. See, it's gelatinous. See how it just fell apart there? It's very gelatinous. So I was just taking that, warming it, and we were drinking it. Well, it was a little too fatty for us. Too much fat. It gives you kind of heartburn, and it's just too much. So what we figured out, and I'm going to do that to this jar too, I'm going to add water to it, put it in a pot, and warm it, blend it, and then put it back in another jar and use that. That would be diluted half to half is what I'm figuring. And that's actually what I did. I'm going to show you my crock pot. This actually, here, let me see if I can do this better. Here we go. Okay, I've got it there in the sink. I actually took water, half and half, put it back in the crock pot and warmed it to blend it. And my selfie stick is falling apart here. Wait a minute. Okay, I don't know what I'm doing now. Okay, there we go. Okay. The problems with doing a YouTube. Anyway, so you can see I took it out, strained it, got all the bits and pieces out of there, put it back in there, added the same amount of water, heated it again, blended it, and now I'm just going to jar it up. So I actually, for a crock pot full, like I said, I was trying to show you, but I don't know how successful I was. There it is right there. I'm still not doing it right. There we go. Okay, I got a crock pot full of stuff. I'm going to take it and jar it. These are half gallons, and it should be reduced by fat, at least by half. And I'll let you know how that goes. I'm going to take it, put it in the half-gallon jars, and then as I warm it for us to consume it, I'm going to chop up some fermented garlic and some onion and put that in there. Maybe some other celery and stuff like that. We'll see. But anyway, I'll let you know how that goes as I experiment with this, because it was just way too fatty to eat the other way. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope it helps you as you try to process things. And then beef's a whole nother thing. You got to like it foams on top and you got to scoop it out. Like I said, I'm not real fond of the way the beef bone broth tastes, so we don't really do that. But I will let you know about lamb. In the future, we're going to be getting a small flock of St. Croix hair sheep this spring. And just like, 3 or 4 or 5 of them. And so we'll be processing them in the future too. Anyway, hope you're having a great week off as we prepare for 2025. Talk to you later.